Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Tuesday the 22nd of May 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, let's take a look at overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. A fairly quiet session yesterday because of the Whit Monday holidays around Europe and elsewhere. What we did see was a continuation of last week's themes. The dollar making gains against both the euro and the pound sterling yesterday, but picking up even more momentum against currencies from developing economies, such as the Brazilian real, where it made a gain of 1.58%, and the Korean won, where the dollar was up by 0.37%. Dollar index for its part making modest gains overnight, up by around 0.1% to trade at 93.63 shortly before we recorded the video. Alright, what's on the calendar then? Events that may move the markets today. A relatively light calendar, one or two bits to pay attention to. Quite a bit of a focus really on UK data. First of all, at 8:15 this morning GMT, we will have a speech from the MPC member Villiger, and that'll be followed at 8:30 by the public sector net borrowing requirement for the UK for April, effectively a look at the state of UK government finances. At 9 o'clock, we'll see the kick-off of GBP inflation report hearings. The Bank of England sets out its stall to UK MPs, talks about inflation and how it can try and get that to the target 2% level. At 10 o'clock, we'll see the CBI Industrial Trends Survey data out of the UK, effectively new orders in industry for May in the UK. At 12:30, we'll have wholesale sales data out of Canada for the month of March. And at 12:55, the weekly Red Book data out of the US for the week of May the 18th. That will be followed at 1400 by the US Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index for May, another one of the closely followed regional Fed indices. And then we have a series of bill and note auctions, 52-week, 4-week and 2-year auctions between 1530 and 1700. Taking us round to 2030 when we'll have the API weekly crude stock data out of the US. Right then, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye overnight. First of all, a US Senate committee meets today in Washington to seek new powers with which to regulate Chinese tech investments in the USA. This, of course, comes hard on the heels of the ZTE debacle and also going the other way, the cooling of trade war tensions between the US and China. It was another tough day for the Turkish Lira yesterday, which has now fallen by some 12% since mid-April and 17% year-to-date in 2018 versus the US dollar. We're focused on the Turkish Lira today as part of an increasing focus on EMFX and bonds, which I think will be a key recurring theme over the coming weeks and months. Meanwhile, Minneapolis Fed President Neel Kashkari has warned against the US FOMC tightening American interest rates too quickly, presumably over concerns about the US economy, but also about the wider fallout in the developing world. Right, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond, and why not think about this? Ahead of PMI releases on Wednesday, Credit Suisse has looked at the scope for a rally in the Eurozone data. The two charts below show us composite PMI new orders on a global basis and Euro area macro surprises against manufacturing PMI new orders. The Credit Suisse feeling is that despite a weak start to the year, there is scope for a rally in Eurozone data, and so we'll look very closely to see if there's any indication of that on Wednesday with that data release. Right, risk warning time. Please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and or foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of leverage products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative.